335 days ago, I made a video called How I Wasted My 20s. This is part 2. Last year I was 28 turning 29. This year I'm 29 turning 30. So I want to update that video with some newer lessons before we officially get out of the 20s bracket. I feel exactly the same as like an 18-year-old, or maybe 20. Maybe 21 would be better. But there's some things that have kind of changed. I just feel like a smarter version of a younger version of myself. If I could go back in time and give myself a slap on the face, I would do that probably in a few specific scenarios, you know, getting married. A lot of people freak out about turning 30 years old. My ex-wife did, my friends did. You know, they'd be like, oh no, I'm turning 30, what am I gonna do? And they'd have like this midlife crisis thing going on, and I never really thought about it. I always just said, I feels the same, feels like whatever. There are actually a few things that I've noticed getting closer to 30. My hair started to thin on top. I don't know if you could see it, but right there, there's a little bit of a thin spot. So you do what you can. You put some Rogaine on it. You take some finasteride if that's what you want to do. My right knee pops, super messed up from riding the one wheel when I took a fall. My shoulders pop. This one just pops over and over. You know, none of this stuff would have mattered if I was young. This would have been fine. I would have just healed and kept going. All of my friends now have kids that are like 7 years old. Another thing about getting older that I've noticed is food. I basically can't eat any of the good stuff anymore without feeling the trade-off from it. Like, when I was 20 years old, I could eat 3 bags of Wendy's and then go get Taco Bell back to back and go to sleep and sleep till 2 p.m. the next day. Now, I have like 6 Wendy's chicken nuggets and some fries, and I'm like dying the rest of the night, and then the next morning. My favorite pizza place in the whole world. I can't even go there and eat it anymore. I have like 1 slice, and then I have to stop because I'll just be burping it up the rest of the day. I know it's probably TMI, you guys didn't ask for that, but like, it sucks. I had no issue with that part when I first moved to Utah, and I was just barely 25 years old. I ordered that pizza, and I ate like a whole box and a half, and now, just a few years later, I can have like 1 slice, and I'm like, ugh. My sleep patterns, I have to have 8 hours of sleep. I just have to. If I don't, then I'm falling asleep. Before, when I first moved to Utah when I was 25, I could have just powered through on maybe barely 3 hours of sleep, and that's what I did. I would come home after my 12-hour shift, work out, make some food, do all this stuff, go to sleep at like 1 o'clock, wake up at 3:45, go to work, and then I'd do another 12-hour shift. And there's no way that I could do that. Nope, I have to have my 8 hours of sleep. I just can't, or I'm passing out at 7 o'clock. Oh, this is a good one. I found a few gray hairs here on my neck beard. My neck beard. I found a few grays here, and I got a couple grays in the eyebrows. I haven't found any grays in the hair yet. I just keep telling myself that they're not gray. They're just really, really blonde. 10 years ago, I was 19 years old, graduating high school, thinking I was the hottest shit. I was like, oh, I just graduated high school. I'm about to go to college. I'm about to get this mechanical engineering degree. I'm about to be, look, I got my whole life ahead of me. And 10 years ago, it was all about image. It was all about what other people thought of me. And I also remember how much what other people thought of me had an effect on me. And then I realized none of that mattered. You know, all those friends that I had from high school, disconnected. Yeah, whenever I look on Facebook at people that I went to high school with, everyone is still there. Everyone's still the same. Nothing happened, you know, like they didn't grow, or I'm not trying to be condescending. It just didn't seem like they had high ambitions, and they just kind of settled. It's very strange, you know, all those cool kids in high school, they're not cool anymore, you know, they're just trying to get by. They got like 15 kids now, you know, struggling paycheck to paycheck. So if you're watching this and you're young, you're just about to go to college, what people think of you in college doesn't matter. What people think of you in high school doesn't matter. No one will remember you as soon as you graduate and go on and move on with your life, and you all go separate ways. But 10 years ago, it was all about image. It was all about what everyone else thought of me, what I looked like, how I presented myself, and I would change based on what other people thought of me. I would feel very self-conscious based on what other people thought of me. And these days, 10 years later, I don't really give a fuck what other people think of me. I kind of embrace being different now. I embrace being the outcast. Whenever I hear, Josh, don't you want a normal life? I just look around and I see what everyone else is doing, and I just think to myself, Now, why would I want that? And I'm not saying that's wrong. I just used to think that something was wrong with me because I could never get myself to fit that mold. What I've realized is, over these past 10 years, is that I've tried to live a traditional life as a non-traditional person for the past 30 years. And that's why I've always felt so awkward, so outcast, so different, is because I just don't fit the mold. I did exactly what society told me to do. I got the degree, I got married, I got a safe job, I got a house, didn't have the kids part. I bought myself toys for the weekend to keep myself entertained until Sunday at 2:30 p.m. when you realize you have work tomorrow and a meeting that you have to prep for. And then do this for 40 years until you retire. I tried that path, and it took me all of 9 months working my first corporate job to realize this sort of life wasn't for me. What I've realized over these last 10 years is that I'm a creative type. I constantly have ideas. There's not an hour that goes by where I don't think, you know what would be fucking awesome to try, Josh? Like, that's what I think. You know what would be cool is if we did this, or have you ever thought about doing this? We should try that. That's like where my brain is all day, every single day. I just want to try things. I just want to make things. I just want to produce. And so I thought something was wrong with me. I thought I had like ADHD or something, but I'm just a creative type. And I just want to work on my ideas because I feel like they're so awesome, and I just have this urge to share them. When I can't work on my ideas or do something that I want to try out in some way, I start to feel depressed and resentful for my time being taken away. And usually it's being taken by some job that you have to do to pay the bills. And the more I'm told what to do, the more I kind of feel like a caged animal. It's taken a while because I thought that I was just a terrible employee. I thought that something was wrong with me. I thought that, oh, Josh, just, this is the trade-off that you have to do. You have to take a job that you hate to do something that you enjoy. And, that's what people will tell you. You have to do what you hate so that you can do what you like. And it's not how it works at all. You can find a balance. You can find a job that you like and do stuff that you enjoy. It's not just you have to do something you hate, and then in return, you get to live life a little bit. And I always thought that was bullshit and nonsense, and that's what they'll tell you. And if you're out there listening, ignore that. You can find a balance of both. Now, there are some days where I'm not always super excited about working and making videos, but most of the time I really love doing this stuff. 10 years ago, I got married. I remember when I thought I was going to be the best husband there was, and now I can't even fathom the idea of promising someone forever, no matter what. It seems so Disney. It seems so whimsical. It seems so cartoonish and unrealistic. Like, there's no way that I could do that. I remember when I dropped out of college, like 4 different times in my 20s, before finally finishing at 25 years old. And I remember thinking that life was going to be such smooth sailing after you graduate college. You just, everything's going to be good. I'm just going to do exactly what my parents have been prepping me for my whole life, which is, get that safe job, get those toys, get that house, get those kids, work to provide for those kids till you're 67 years old, which is average retirement age, and then retire, and then have 11 years of freedom before you die at the age of 78, which is the average age of death. And now I realize college is just the beginning. College is just the tip of the iceberg of life. You're supposed to graduate and feel ready to tackle life. Why do you think all of you guys have imposter syndrome? I don't feel qualified to do my job. There's no way. I don't feel like I could do any of this. Well, it's because you're not qualified and you're not ready to do any of it. You're just winging it. Your whole life you had someone holding your hand through school, and now you're just winging it. I remember feeling like a king when I got my first salary and I could buy all those toys I wanted, until I realized no amount of toys were going to keep me from waking up and going to do a job that I hate. Now I watch other people dig themselves into holes by buying things they think they need, but then they can't afford, and then they buy things that they need their job to pay for, and then they become a slave to their job and end up living to work rather than vice versa. And just like in Fight Club, the things you own end up owning you. And what I've realized also is that some people experience this and some people won't experience this. But the thing is, I wish someone would have told me these things. I wish someone would have came to me in my 20s and said, look, I know that you're wondering why you're doing this, and there's a reason for that. It's probably because you don't fit the mold. Last year I said the biggest thing holding me back was getting over what people thought of me, and partially that was true because I was newer at doing YouTube then, and I was, getting a lot of hater comments for this and that, and, and then I got over that. But this year, I've realized that the reason I haven't been making a lot of progress is because I've been putting other people before myself, to the point where I begin to deteriorate. And this year, learning to think about myself first in life has been quite an adjustment. Whenever I did that as a kid growing up, I was called selfish. It's always, think of other people before yourself. Always sacrifice what you have for someone else, right? And changing that and putting myself, what does Josh want to do today? What the fuck does Josh want out of life? Does he want to buy that thing? Does he want to take time off and do that thing? What does Josh want? Stop thinking about what other people want for you. What do I want? And I've never had the time to do that, really. And I feel guilty about doing things for myself. I'm just so used to, well, I can, but I'm putting that on hold right now because I'm helping someone else build this business. I'm helping my parents. I'm helping my family, whatever. And from now on, I'm just putting my oxygen mask on first, because otherwise we both suffocate. If I can't focus on myself, if I can't love myself, how can I help anyone else? How can I love anyone else? What I've also realized getting older is that these days I have a constant sense of running out of time. I don't know how to explain it. I just feel like there's so much in life that I want to do, and I'm running out of time. I do have a constant sense of, you're already 30 now, Josh, and you haven't done this yet. You've been putting it on hold because you've been trying to do other things first and help other people and do other things. And that's your dream, but you kept it on the back burner. Why are you self-sabotaging? What's really weird is that I've gotten older, is that I said this in the last video, but my perception of time is so different now. I blink and it's a different season. I go into my house and then I come back out and it's dark. This room, I've been putting together this new office to try and get things more organized, and I didn't post a video for a couple days, and those 2 days went like this, and this room isn't even done yet, and it's just, time is just, I don't want to say it's slipping away. Time slips away when you don't feel like you have control over it, but like time is just flying by. It's just like each year becomes quicker than the year prior, because each year of your life is less significant to the next one. First year of your life, that was 100% of your life. The second year of your life, well, that was 50% of your life, and it just keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller until you die. And so that perception of time just seems to go faster and faster. And the video that I made 335 days ago about how I wasted my 20s, that felt like I made it 4 months ago. These past 10 years, honestly, where I'm at right now, they felt like maybe 2 years. And then I realized, if this is how fast time is going by at this age, how fast is it going to go by when I'm 50? 10 years when I'm 50 is going to feel like a month. And I'm very, very particular with how I want to spend my time. But speaking of how fast time goes by, it's one of the big reasons why I don't play as many video games anymore. There's just so much more in life that I want to do that I just don't have time for video games. And that's not to say that I don't play them anymore, because I played them and I enjoyed them growing up, and it came to the point where there was like almost video game addiction there, where I was playing them even though I didn't enjoy them, just to escape from a reality that I hated because I didn't know what else to do. But these days, I just play them like as a social activity, or maybe at night when I really just want to get into another story, not as an escape so much anymore. Because I like to be the creator of the rules in my life. I don't necessarily want to live inside the rules of a video game, which can kind of be fun sometimes. But for example, like people on Twitch that do game streaming full time, like they're spending their entire life living within the confines of Twitch and the video game world that they're playing in. It's just like, it's so crazy to me. I mean, some people can do it and they enjoy it, and like more power to them, but for me, I could never stream video games full time for that reason. Grind for 100 hours to unlock this gun, and then you finally get that gun, and then you use it for 10 minutes and you're like, okay, what's next? And there's no way I could just give up those 100 hours to use something for 10 minutes, because I know that's how video games work. Let me pause right here and just say a few things that I really wish someone had said to me when I was 18 to 25. So if you're out there and you're vibing with this video and you're feeling what I'm saying, just let me say a few things. If you're forcing yourself into a life mold like I did that does not fit you, and you know something's up, you have a little hint, you have a little inkling that why does this feel so difficult for me? I'm gonna tell you that you will resent it. You will wonder why you did everything like you're supposed to do, but you're still unhappy. You either gotta break the mold or get out of the mold. You can't put a square inside of a sphere mold unless you force it, it's just not gonna work. And I find that's what a lot of people end up doing, and no one tells them, hey, stop, consider something else. The longer you force yourself into this lifestyle, the more unhappy you'll become. I mean, you can try all you want to convince yourself that you like it, like I did, and it won't work. You can say, I love this job, I love what I do, I'm just not engaged, and it's not gonna work. That's exactly what I did. I said, I'm not engaged. There's something about this job that's just not getting it. And you know what they did to me? They took me to HR and they took me to employee engagement and told me to take a survey as to why I didn't like the work I was doing. It's just because I don't fucking like it. I'm just not fucking interested. But when you're in that moment, you think that something is wrong with you. And everyone else is going to think that there's something wrong with you. And I'm going to tell you right now that there's nothing wrong with you. You might be a hard worker, but you're not an employee. Another thing I'd like to say is that wealth is a mindset. Let me explain. You could take a rich man's money away and he'll make it back because they know what wealth is. They have the skills. They know how to put it together. Wealth is up here. They can take your material items away, and that's not a problem because you can just get it back. You could give a poor man millions of dollars, and they still wouldn't be a millionaire. They wouldn't know what to do with it. They would blow it. Just go look at the lottery winners. 9 out of 10 of them just end up back where they were a year after they won. Money solves your money problems, but it does not solve your inner life problems. Yeah, your salary will pay you bills and give you some breathing room, but your salary will not give you inner purpose. It will not give you life purpose. It will just give you time to think, okay, now that I don't have to think about my rent and my phone bill and putting food on the table, what do I really want out of life? It's okay to work a job, but if you're gonna do it, just use the job as a stepping stone. Just use the job for your own gain, okay? Because that's what the owners are doing with you. The owners are using you for their own gain. You should use their job to get some skills for your own gain. You should use the job to get some whatever it is for your own gain, right? It has to be mutual. So don't go in there and just thinking this is the end all be all company for me. Another thing I'd like people to realize is that the market does not care about your passion. They care about your value. So find something you're good at or learn something you want to be good at and sell it. People want what you have, not necessarily who you are. And by that, I mean your passion. People don't care about that unless it's helping someone in some way. Here's a big one. It's absolutely okay to be a lone wolf. It's the way I've always done things. It's how I am. I embrace it now. If you're out there and you feel outcast because of it, embrace it. It's 100% okay to be a lone wolf. According to science, lone wolves are typically stronger, more intelligent, and have much more impact than those of the pack. But most importantly, lone wolves aren't alone forever. They make their own pack. Last year, I made a couple promises at the end of the video, or goals that I would like to accomplish, and one of them was I'd like to make $1 million, and the other one was I'd like to buy my parents a house. And here's a little update on how that went. I fucked up. I failed. Neither of those things happened. Didn't make $1 million. Didn't even make close to $1 million. There's no way I could retire right now. Absolutely no. As for buying my parents a house, I don't have a family anymore, so look at how that worked out. And now that sounds kind of depressing. But let me tell you what I did do. I have 38 out of 40 hours needed to take a check ride for a private pilot's license. All I need is 2 hours and a written test, and I can go get a check ride, get a pilot's license. I got a paraglider license. I have a speed flying license, and I gained almost 200,000 subscribers in a year. And as much as I failed my original goals, I accomplished a lot. I have a general kind of theory on how you should live life, and you should either be doing one of two things. Finding what you want to do in life, or do that thing in life. That's it. That's all there really is. And most people give up on the first one because it's really hard. You get married, you have kids, you get a job, you buy the things, you get lost in that, and then you end up just out there somewhere. For this video, I'd like to set some goals. Why not? And then we'll see where I'm at. Maybe in 5 years when I turn 35. I'd like to meet all of the people that I follow on YouTube. I'd like to go to the Corridor Crew and meet the people at the Corridor Crew. Matt Diavella, Trip Palmer, Tucker Gott, Matt Guthmiller, all the aviation people on YouTube. Coach Greg. I was thinking about hiring Coach Greg because I just once in my life just want to get to single digit body fat. Just once. So Coach Greg is my kind of guy, cuts through the BS, and I think that'd be kind of cool to document. So buy a plane so I can do my new series, Entrepreneurs and Airplanes, because I'm convinced that everyone that owns an airplane that doesn't do it for a job has their own business in some way, because airplanes are not cheap. And so I really think that would be a lot of added value, just talking to other pilots that have figured out how to pursue their passion of flying and how they made their businesses and stuff. I mean, just go look at Corey, the pilot that I flew with the other day. He has his own software business. That's how he funds his adventures. And then I would probably like to move out of this house and maybe make some investments for some more passive income, because what I've realized is that I work every single day, and yes, it is exhausting. YouTube does not seem like it's exhausting, but as soon as you finish the first video or the live stream, you're thinking about the next thing you're going to do. I guarantee you, as soon as I click end on this and I start editing this video, I'm going to be thinking about, okay, in a day and a half, when I have to make another video, what's that video going to be on? And it's just onward and onward and onward and onward. And I need to figure out a way to post less videos and be able to step away, because right now, if I step away from this business, the business dies. YouTube told me. YouTube gave me a notification in the analytics that says, it was a little graduation hat, and it said, here's a new tooltip we're experimenting with. YouTube promotes your videos less when you post less videos, so your channel performed not as well as it did. And I'm just like, this is literally YouTube telling me that if you don't post videos, you're not getting views. You got to be stuck in the algorithm. You're chasing the algorithm constantly. So I need to find other ways outside of the algorithm, like courses or products or some company that I can sell. We might even do some software stuff, anything related to code to build a brand, but not necessarily just to make web apps to get a job. Just things like that. Very pragmatic on this channel going forward. I'm kind of done with doing drama stuff. I just want to make a lot of value-added stuff. That's it. That's the life update. If you enjoyed this video, maybe click thumbs up, leave a subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I hope you guys relate. And just remember, if you don't fit the mold, don't force it. I'll see you guys in the next one.